Welcome back to Better Dig 2, the husband and wife horror podcast, bringing our couch conversations to the masses. I'm your host, Maddie.
And I'm your host, Shrade.
Grab a seat on the couch and let's talk horror.
Maddie, my love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah.
But after watching that movie, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. It brings a new meaning to the definition.
I think I just like you like a lot.
Yeah.
One really cool thing at the very top of this is how I think like love is such an impactful part of day-to-day relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow this has brought an even new, more horrific version of that.
Yeah, it's definitely twisted it. But you know what? This movie was such a fantastic reminder to you and all the men out there that we can be crazier.
Accurate. I could definitely see that. I definitely have an appreciation for you. And we'll get into some scenes later that I wanted to just shrink into the chairs. So I'm real excited.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, this week we are reviewing the movie Obsession. So written and directed by Curry Barker, starring Michael Johnston as Bear, Indy Navarrete as Nikki, Cooper Tomlinson as Ian, and Megan Lawless as Sarah.
Yep. Brief summary. After breaking the mysterious one-wish willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic finds himself getting exactly what he asked for, but soon discovers that some desires come at a dark, sinister price.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into it, as always, every movie review we do is filled to the gills with spoiler. If you don't want the movie to be spoiled or wish to stop, turn back now.
All right. We'll jump in with our rubric.
Okay.
So, first category, acting quality. I gave it a 4.5.
I also gave it a 4.5.
And that it only lost a half a point for some of the other actors, because if we're going off of main female character Nikki, it would have been a 5.
I think Nikki gets so much credit for this film being as amazing as it was.
I mean, she blew it out of the water.
Yeah, and I think what was really cool is there was such a balancing act between like our 4 main characters.
Yes.
So like Bear was a great compliment because every bit of his insecurity, his weakness, all of that really shows through.
Oh yeah, and he played like meek.
Oh yeah.
Very well. But just, I mean, again, it's just barely, just half a point, you know.
Yeah.
They could have all been absolute shit, and her, you know, it would have, our overall score would have been lower.
Right.
You know, but I mean, overall, I mean, they were all great, but Nikki just blew it out of the water, like I said. So
I agree.
What'd you score it?
4.5 as well.
Also? Yep. Okay. All right. Next category, visual effects and cinematography. I gave it a 4.5 also.
Okay. I gave it a full 5.
Okay.
I have not been so in love with the way that a director has done a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The man behind the camera, from start to finish, every shot, every frame, every second of this movie, there's not a single time where I can sit there and critique it that we didn't have either a plot point, a story hook, a character development, just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
So I think visual and cinematography, everything that you would want accomplished in this movie was accomplished.
Yeah.
There did not seem to be any wasted scenes.
Okay. I loved the way that foreground background was used, where you can just see her in the background so often, and she's just standing there, and it's not hiding her at all. Like, you know, she's there. And you can just see her. I mean, she's blurred in the background, but she's just standing there watching. And it's so unsettling and like so menacing. And it never moves. So you see her just standing there the whole time. Like, she's turned and looked. and then she never looks away, and she's just there the whole time. And it was so, that just added to that creep factor. It could have been broad daylight, they were in public, but she's just there watching, listening, and you know it, but you don't know if they know it because they're maybe not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was great too.
Okay. Audio, I gave it a perfect 5.
Same here.
There's nothing that I could have done. Audio cues were amazing. The like bits of soundtrack that we actually got were phenomenal. The ending by itself really just sells you. It was a perfectly captured moment.
Yeah.
And I think it really ties in together with the way, again, Curry just fucking crushed it.
Oh yeah. Specifically in audio for me, her voice, there were times when it was like subtle, but it was just enough to like just give you the creeps.
Oh, yeah.
It was like layered, but it was like melted so well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the like bits of soundtrack when it was turning, like there was the one scene where he's like leaving and she's like, bye, have a nice day. And all you see is his face for a second and you see his eyes go wide, but the music starts changing and you know he's seeing something that is terrifying him. But it was like just the switch from the music was such a good placement, and then it turns and she is just like fully like blockaded the door or just, you know, barricaded with duct tape.
Yeah.
Like, so there was just the shifts in the music that was, you know, enhanced the scenes so well. And then the little jingle on the stick from the box. I mean, just little things, but it was done really well.
I completely agree. Story, I gave it a 4.5.
So did I.
Again, not a single wasted scene. Everything. I think the only thing that doesn't give it the full 5 for me was just the inconsistency, like the one little thing that I'll nitpick, and that is going to be the only thing that I say. In the universe of the One Wish Willow, how is it that these things are not flying off the shelf? Like, if we were to put this out there and like, hey, any wish that you want, it can happen. You know? So I think that's the one plot point. But again, if there's a sequel, if there's more in-universe stuff, I think we can really play on that. And so I'm leaving just a little bit of room for a little more. Yeah,
that's where my half point loss comes from. I wanted to know more. I wanted just a little more explanation about the One Wish Willow. But again, if it opens it up to future, that's fine. You know, I'd watch it more. Your thing about why are they not flying off the shelves? To me, it's almost like, and I can't think of like an example right now, like, or pulling one from memory, but like things where, since it's kind of supernatural, it like targets the user. You know, it only appears to the people that it knows it can really like fuck up.
See, I think it's in a hippie shop.
You
know, it's something that was purchased, made. It had store displays. You know, so I don't think it's more. It follows because we see later on in the movie that it just works for everybody. And there was like the online forum that goes back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Which you're just like, okay, did you just have a wish that didn't work, or were you?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and the first lady at the store said, you know, most people don't even open them. They just keep them as collector's items.
Yeah, I would definitely, if we can get a hold of one for merch, I'm in.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have that on the shelf. But that's the thing, is like, that's the whole, because they were kind of vintage. So like she said, a lot of people don't even use it. They don't ever open it. They just collect it. So they're just sitting there. And you think about, you go into little weird eclectic shops and you always see those little things, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't ever buy them because it's just like gimmicky. And so that's, unless, yeah, if people knew that it actually worked, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But is that part of the lore about it where it's prevented, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's really the only thing that I want story-wise tapped.
Yeah.
Everything else
I
is
want to
tied
know
up
more
perfectly.
about the One Wish Willow, but also leaving it like ambiguous on that part to keep the mystery of it,
Yeah.
So
I can get behind that.
Okay.
Next category is scariness. I gave it a 4.5.
Okay. I give it a 4.
I think we might have a battle of sexes situation here.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form is Nikki the villain in this story.
Bear's the villain.
Yeah, she is the victim. That it is like a justice, country justice, basically, where she is this vengeful spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really, really unique, and the way that you are able to make me afraid of a petite, like, female, and it not through like supernatural strength, just legitimate movement and craziness.
Well, and then the fact that it at really no point was Bear in danger. Like, I mean, she wasn't gonna hurt him. At least not intentionally. She might have like lost her shit and he might have accidentally, but she wasn't gonna just go after him and kill him or something, so really, to me, he was never actually in danger because she loved him more than anyone in the world, unless it escalated to the point where she like killed them both. Like,
so that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think that he definitely was in danger. I don't know if it was much more physical, but I know psychologically he was torn.
Yeah.
Like, completely. And we see later on, which is a scene that you and I will get to talk in, because I think we both have it on our list, the total character breakdown of Bear when he finally is like, he accepts that he is a fucking coward.
Mm-hmm.
And we get I don't want to say the climax, but really like the final unhinged thing where he is starting to get alienated from these people, right? So it's almost like, I don't know if it's a metaphor for the all-devouring of obsession itself, where it will affect your relationships, your friends, your family. And I think that's a great commentary. And if not, it's just a happy little coinky dink.
Yeah. But I can definitely see how, this movie would be a little more scary to the male population.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, so somebody online I saw, they were like, his name was Baron and nickname Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So was that supposed to be like a kind of callback to the whole man versus bear debate? Like talking about, women, like, would you choose a man? Would you be stuck in a room with a man or a bear? And they're like, well, a bear's never done this, but a man has, but a bear's never, Yeah. So was that like kind of a reference to that?
I think that's fun.
Yeah. And so, I mean, in that sense, for like a woman, like the fact that what Bear did, is if that was true, like, if reality happened, this was real and they could snap a little stick and force you to be that,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. But for for the guys, because you could literally pull the whole like supernatural aspect out of this movie and just think of it as like a psycho girlfriend, and with just at this level of like obsession, having a mental breakdown and just if I can't have you, no one can, like crazy to the point of like starting to kill people. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Next category we'll get into enjoyability. It was a perfect 5.
Same.
The theater experience that we had was perfect. It was like a relatively small theater because we were out of town for a wedding. Made time to go watch the movie, and from start to finish, as soon as we got into it, I was hooked. Like, I
Well,
was
and
latched in.
yeah, and we've said this before about another movie. We get in there and everyone was talking. Like there was people behind us just yapping and being, like loud. And I was like, oh great. And but once the movie got going, those people quit talking.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you asked the lady 3 seats down from us,
Yeah, she was a little...
she would have said this was the funniest movie she had seen all year. At that opening scene where they're doing like he's rehearsing what he's wanting to say to Nikki,
Mhm.
she was just cackling. Like, I don't know what the deal was. I mean, if it was like the embarrassment funny of it, I don't know. But she was laughing hard.
Mhm.
But then once it was, so I was like, ooh, if she's like, I don't know. I never heard a peep from her after. Like once it started getting into it. So I really should have like looked over and seen if she was like covering her eyes and ears, because I don't know. I don't know if she was like just sheltered in that whole opening scene. I mean, again, it was just like the funniest thing she had seen.
Well, she was an older lady.
I know. So I
think
was
she
like,
was there with her kids.
I should have looked and seen like once it started getting into it and getting into the gore and the creep. I'm like, what are you thinking now?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the last time that I've had 3 5s on my categories.
Yeah.
And
I have 2. Well,
this felt awesome.
Yeah.
Our final super arbitrary, super opinion based,
Yep.
And my favorite part of the rubric is bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 4 bonus points. I gave it
full 5.
You gave it a full 5.
Yep.
So I'm real excited. think we have a couple that are going to be similar. I think first thing we need to acknowledge, Nikki or Indy's performance as Nikki was so phenomenal.
Yeah.
I legitimately, there was fear and terror as I was trying to cringe away and get further and further into my seat, trying to get away from her.
Yeah. So I gave it 5, and my first one goes to Indy. And honestly, I'd give her more if I could. I mean, it's our rules. We can, but I'll give her just the 1. So it's like, for acting quality, 4.5. But I'm going to give her, a full bonus point just for her performance.
Oh, 100%.
It was so good. I mean, I had to go back and look, and I'm like, what has she been in? And really, this was her first like big main role. And she did amazing. And so that makes me so excited, because it's like, is she going to be our next big scream queen? She did horror so well.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we see more of her in horror, thriller, type of films. So yeah, kudos to Indy. She did amazing.
Mm-hmm. My next bonus point is Curry Barker's. This is his first feature-length film.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you catch lightning in a bottle on your first attempt?
Yeah.
I know that he has had, internet fame.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of comedy shorts. He's done some short horror, and the short horror is great.
Yeah.
But it was like he stepped it up to 11. Whatever his process is, give me more of him.
We got that in this movie. There was definitely those little comedic breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Which did not feel forced at all. And they were good, kind of change of pace a little bit, for the absurdity of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, but the little, and it was dry humor in those points. And that's, I'm all about dry humor, which fits in a horror movie, like the sarcastic or whatever, but it was really good. He did great.
Yeah. What was your next point?
Okay. So I have a couple that are about specific scenes.
Okay.
So the first one is the car scene when she kills Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
That there's so many parts of that scene that lend to this bonus point. So first off, the cinematography,
Mm-hmm.
the way it is framed, you know something is going to come up. Either he's like, there's a spot where he's just kind of zoned out and he's looking away. Sarah's facing him, so facing the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
So it could pan back to her, and Nikki could have just been standing there or something. You know it's coming. And people have said that in that scene you can see her like standing in the back. But I don't know.
I think that's one of the things.
Like a pair of like kind of glowing eyes or something. I don't know. And that's just something that, I'd have to go back and look. But first off, it's coming. She's going to pop up. Okay. Then it comes back and then you see her running towards the car. So she doesn't just pop up. It's not really a jump scare.
Yeah.
You see her, you get a couple of seconds. You see her running towards the car, right? So, I mean, she's coming full tilt.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to smash the window. I mean, if you're processing fast enough, it's coming. She smashes the window. I still jumped. Like, I knew it was coming. I saw it coming and I still jumped.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, she's going to grab her. I mean, she grabs her and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you can smash her head into the steering wheel. And it took about 2 or 3 like smashes because I mean, she just went for it before I realized she was like holding a brick on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, holy shit.
Yep.
That's so much worse than just, grabbing the back of a girl's hair. Cause that's so like a catty thing, or like a bar fight out in the parking lot. You grab the girl's hair and you smash her face into the steering wheel. And I say that because I know someone who did that. So it's like, oh yeah, haha. And then you're like, oh fuck, there's a brick there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit. It's like she used the brick to smash the window, which makes it like completely more believable because car windows are hard to break.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh yeah, she had a brick. She smashed the window. Totally believable. But then she doubled down and used it to smash her face in. But then it's funny because I've seen clips of that scene like on TikTok and it just straight up looks like she just smashes her head. Like she just juggernauts, tucks her chin and just rams her head into it, which is so funny because yeah, at that point maybe. I mean, she's like crazy and she's sprinting towards it,
Yeah.
But the brick, to me it makes more sense that she like used the brick to smash the window and then she just doubled down and just, used it to make sure that Sarah was not making it through.
Okay.
So then just it was good gore. Just, and the spray, it just like, it kept going. And then Bear just getting sprayed with blood and then just sitting there taking it. But then it kept going. And then Nikki just gaslighting him. She was like, shh, this is your fault. You did this. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
So just that whole scene, it was so good.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to go ahead and get your next scene out of the way too?
Yeah. So the other one was also the restaurant scene.
Mm-hmm.
It just kept going. Like, so he goes to take a call around the corner and he's standing there talking. And I really kind of I thought it was going to be like, you would see her through the lattice or something. I was like, she's going to show up somewhere because they framed it the same way. There was a lot of that open space. And you knew she was going to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it would just hurt. In the background, you see her get up out of the booth. She kind of walks out. She's like looking around the corner. She doesn't like approach him or anything, but she's watching and she's listening. And then she just goes and sits back down.
Yeah.
And then that, that really has become kind of the iconic scene that everyone's using on
the
TikTok. The no. That gave me that scene. I've never been so creeped out and unsettled, plus getting secondhand embarrassment. So, like, I don't think I've ever felt those two emotions simultaneously until this scene. And it was just like, I had just imagined being the people like the next table, the next booth over, just like witnessing this and being like, oh shit, you know?
Oh yeah, that would be one of those like where we're sitting
We're
across and we're
silent,
like, yeah,
and just
we're gonna
like
talk about this in the car,
communicating with eyes, like, you listening to this shit? And then she just gets up and she's standing there and like still yelling. She's like, no, we were supposed to be having a good time. Why did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, just sit down. We're fine. You know, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole scene. I mean, just, that's one of them. Just, if you put yourself in there as like just an innocent bystander, you're like, oh my God, is this really happening?
Yeah. I think it was wild. And what a good way to start really kicking off the crazy.
Oh yeah. And that was just another one of those points. Like I said, you could have taken out the whole supernatural aspect of it and it just being a crazy obsessed girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And it still is terrifying.
Oh yeah. What's your next point?
Let's see. So the other two, rewatchability.
Oh yeah.
So many horror movies are just one and done, either because they're bad or like the example I always give is Midsommar. Amazing movie, but that's a hard or Hereditary. Mm. Amazing horror movies, but I can't. I mean, like, I don't just like, I'll go rewatch this, because I mean, some of those scenes you're just like, I can't do it. You know,
I can, but that's again our difference in what we're looking for in a horror movie.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just a couple of scenes that I'm just like, I can like on Midsommar, the scene where they jump off the cliff. I cannot rewatch that. So if I do rewatch it, I have to skip through it, or I just have to like, no, I don't know. It's just I can't do it. So there's just those scenes when I know they're coming. I can't rewatch them.
Yeah, like
it would be like if everyone in the room were like, let's watch Midsommar. It's like, okay. I would do it, but I just like have to prepare myself like to be viscerally like, ooh. So, but this one, great rewatchability. It still is going to give you like the cringe and the ick, but because you know that there's probably stuff we missed.
Oh, definitely.
In the first watch that you want to go back and try to catch things. Mm-hmm. So rewatchability is just not so common in horror, and this one definitely. So
I agree.
I really have been like, I kind of want to go back to the theaters and watch it again. But
yeah, we should have.
If it as soon as it's back, as soon as it's out on streaming, if we haven't already, gone and rewatched it in the theaters, I will be watching it again. Which actually, it was supposed I saw something saying it was supposed to actually come out on streaming like June 3rd, mm-hmm. which is today as we're recording this, and then said that because of its success so far at the box office, they canceled that date and are going to give it a full, theatrical release.
Yeah, that's
timeline.
I mean, that's insane. Number one, for like a horror movie.
Yeah,
like an artsy, kind of weird, out there. Like, I'm going for an Oscar. Like that, I can kind of see.
Yeah,
but for a horror movie to garner so much attention so quickly and grow so much money on such a shoestring budget, I
love that we've seen that multiple times this year, though. Like,
I don't know, like, what's in the water. I don't know if people have been paving the way. And
it's been a good year so far for horror, and we are getting, new names, new faces, new stories. It's been good so far. So,
agreed. What's your final point?
Okay, my final one was it made you think. It made you question everything. It made you think about, what was going on, what could be happening, and just better than a lot of the times it's just mindless, here's gore, here's a slasher, and a lot of the times that is more in a thriller because it's like a psychological. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we got that in, a horror movie, I like that because, and I think that kind of ties into that rewatchability, because it's not just like a one and done thing, you know. It gives you're left with a lot of questions in the end, or you think about things like, oh, this ties in with this, or what is, you know, and so it really makes you want to go rewatch it. So just because it's deeper than just blood and guts, you know.
Agreed.
Okay. That was that was my 5 bonus. So you said obviously one for Nikki, and then
my next point,
first one for Curry Barker. So what are your other 2?
I don't know the last time I've been unsettled in like a movie theater to the point where I'm like, I get to the point in our home where if something really freaks me out, you know, I've got the ambiance, I have everything set up just the way that I like it. I've got Fat Babby sitting next to me with a blankie, popcorn on the other side, and I am just tucked in.
Yeah.
This was one of the first times probably in the last 5 or 6 years that we've been to a movie in theaters that I recoiled.
Okay.
And found like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know, but to the extent of, this is one of the greatest things that I have laid my eyes upon when it comes to how these scares were done, how effective they used body language, movement.
Yeah.
Oh God. It was a master
or the
class.
Absence of.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, we'll be getting into that too.
Yeah.
Fuck, there was some cool stuff. I think it's my last one. One last point. The ending.
Yeah.
So many times that you and I have watched horror movies, the first 3/4 of it works fine. It's good. And then we get to the final act and it just falls apart.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Or everything wraps up in the last 10 minutes, you know? So for this movie to have plot points that were set up early, effects that were given to the audience, the entity of the One Wish Willow, all of these things come tying together, and it just is a railroad.
Yeah.
It is not stopping. It is like getting hit by a freight train.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So like, this is how I think of it. So in like a plot, like if you're plotting out a story, you know, you have your exposition, climax, resolution.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's other parts in there, but just roughly. So in other genres, it can be kind of even, you know, like the climax can happen kind of middle of the movie, and then you have like your resolution trailing out, you know. In a horror movie, that usually shifts, where it's a long exposition and then the climax is more towards the end. Yeah. It's just how it usually happens, like action movies, horror movies. And so it is more effective, obviously, when that climax is right there at the end and there's not this like resolution tail that ends up weakening the climax for me, because it's like, oh, everything was fine, you know, and then, you know, you want to be left with that like wow factor when the movie's over and walking out of the theater like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah.
And so I think this one did that really well, you know, and it was like it climaxed, or what you thought it was. And then it could have been like, oh, here's the resolution, and that's how it ends. And then it was like, nope, you know, right there at the end. So I thought it was a good ending. I thought it was a great ending. And actually, it wasn't the planned ending. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Yes, I did.
So do you have a point to make about that later?
No, you can go ahead and talk about it now.
All I heard was that she was supposed to kill herself.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be like quick.
Yes.
Like no thoughts about it, just boom, done. And then that was going to be the ending. I like that it ended with her living.
Yeah.
It leaves it open-ended though, because you're like, how is she going to explain this?
I think she's returning for anything but ghosts. And that storyline will be continued on.
Oh, okay.
I think that was one of the rumors that they were talking about during like the media event.
Even if they just like reference it or something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it leaves you wondering, I mean, big time wondering, like, what happens to Nikki?
Yeah, how do you pick your life up after that?
Well, how do you not get blamed for it?
Yeah.
I mean, you better get a damn good lawyer because,
Or you
I mean,
gotta break your own one wish willow.
well, because I mean, look, she did kill Sarah. She did kill Ian. And she's just gonna have to plead insanity. She's still gonna get charged for it.
Yeah.
Unless she like goes on the run. I mean,
for sure.
Gets a new identity. So
okay.
Okay.
I gave it total
Mhm.
a 32.5. It is an A. It is the highest rated movie that we've done this year.
Yeah. So mine, you know, even though our numbers were different in some places, mine came out to a 32.5 also. So A. And that is, I'd have to go look back, but I mean, it's definitely the highest I've ranked a movie this year. I can't think of any movies we've ranked that, just off the top of my head, that I've ranked higher than this.
No, I think right now it's our golden crown.
Yeah.
So.
And I was not expecting that at all, especially coming off of Hokum.
Yeah, I was pretty high on Hokum.
Yeah.
And I think our review of it really shines light on it. And for a couple days, I was like, I don't know if I liked it as much as Hokum. And then like getting into doing research for the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And continuing.
Once you like
to watch
marinate, ruminate on that one a little bit, it just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And so, again, rewatchability makes you think. Love that about it.
Okay. Well, that gets us out of the rubric, and now we get to go on to scenes. I did not have a single least favorite scene. Okay. I loved every minute of this movie. It does look like you have one scene.
So I've done this before, but I agree with you. I loved every single scene. I didn't have any issues really with anything. I just put this as a least favorite scene because it was the party scene. Because I felt like I was being held hostage. Like I was stuck in this house at this party, could not leave. And I was like, just get me the fuck out of here. I cannot do like the secondhand embarrassment. I walk away. And I mean, you know better than anyone. I do not have a poker face.
No.
My feelings are clearly written on my face all the time because you have to like lean over like at a family event or like a wedding or something. You have to lean over and like fix your face. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, because it looks like you're scowling and then your eyes do the thing that Bruce the Shark does where like they just hyper focus in and then you're...
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like disgust is written all over my face and things like that. I would just be like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Yeah. She was, but yeah, like the circle, like when they're playing Jenga, like if I'd have been there, I would have been like.
I do think that scene gives us the best face in the entire movie.
Oh, she did like the Florence Pugh.
Oh man, but the way that she held it. The way that the camera zoomed in as like, it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I would have been Ian. Like, does anybody want any Jello shots? And then I would have just not returned. I've been like, what the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah. I mean, Ian was unfortunately, I think he was the host of said party.
I know. So I don't care. I would have been Irish goodbying my own house. I'm like, well, it's y'all's house now.
I think that makes it interesting.
Gotta go get some ice because I'm the host of this party. I gotta make sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, it was a super impactful scene, but I was just like, oh my God, I was like, I'm being held hostage in this.
Yeah.
I want out of here. Yeah. And not even for the like it being like, oh, this is terrifying. It's just like, I hate this so much.
Yeah, I want to throw up.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and then just the complete switch up when she like takes the light or whatever you want to call it for like 2 seconds, and then just starts smashing her face in with a freaking beer bottle like crazy. So But yeah, so you didn't have any like least in any kind of sense of least favorite.
No,
Okay.
no, I cannot disparage this movie for any scene in
No.
particular. I think,
And again, it's like it's a least favorite scene, but it only made the movie better. You know,
yeah,
just personal feelings.
fair. Do you want to lead off with your favorite scenes, or do you want me to go ahead and start rolling through mine?
I mean, I've already really kind of talked about him with the restaurant and the car scene,
Mm-hmm.
just because, you know, like I said, the restaurant scene similar to the party scene, just that like, ooh, get me out of here. Like for it being a horror movie, but not something grotesque, but giving you, I mean, just the heebie-jeebies. Like I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But it pulled you in so well. Like you
Oh,
could have
100%.
been sitting on that couch at that party. You could have been at the next table over at that restaurant. It just,
You could have been in the musical store.
yeah,
Like,
you could have been a customer in the music store,
yeah.
like walking up to the counter to pay, and she's just standing there looking in the back. And I'm like, excuse me, can I
Yeah.
check out? You know, that would have been like a point. I would have just walked. I would have just been like, nope, I guess I'm not buying anything
Yeah.
today. Or just like, oh, I forgot something, and like walk away. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
dip.
the fuck is going on? You know, just any kind of bystander or just person just watching any of this happen, like the friends thinking she's just having like a mental breakdown. I'm like, really?
Yeah, this would be straitjacket.
Yeah.
Like, we would be going on a grippy sock vacation very quickly.
This would not have been like, hey, I don't think she's okay. It's like, no, the fuck she's not.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Bear is a complete coward. And obviously, like, we see there are roles designated to each one, right? Like, Ian is kind of a fuckboy, but he's also, like, the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Sarah is the one kind of pining after this fucking loser.
Yeah.
You know, and then Bear is just the meekest, the softest, wettest boy.
Softest, wettest boy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, it gets to the point where he knows what's going on. I mean, he knows. He knows that this is like not Nikki.
Yep.
But he's so selfish. And that's all. I mean, he just cares about his own wants, which I saw someone else say this. There was a lot of good foreshadowing in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the very beginning, the opening scene, I saw someone say they loved the fact that Bear was having a conversation with someone pretending to be Nikki. That was such good foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And then when he went to the store the first time, and he's looking for a gift for Nikki, and he ends up buying something for himself. Selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he said he was going to give it to her, but then he like never did, you know, because he was like, well, I'll just take the wish. So, I don't really know where to put it, but I can put it here, I guess. Anytime they were in that little shop, knick-knack shop, crystal shop, whatever you want to, especially the first time, I got vibes of the movie The Hot Chick when like they go into the store in the mall and it's like very similar, and it's like Adam Sandler is the guy behind the counter and he's like, you could put your weed in there. And it was funny because that's where we got some of that comedic relief from both the lady in the beginning who worked at the counter and then the guy at the end. And because he was like, oh, we know we sold out of all those. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding, they're right here.
Yeah.
Like it was such, especially the second time, because Bear literally walks in and he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And nobody really acknowledges that. It's just so I'm like,
well, that's not necessarily true because the guy behind the counter, he's like, dude, you're acting crazy. And then Bear goes into this rant and he's like, oh, yeah, like I already did my wish. Like
he's like, please wish this. And he's like, oh no, sorry, I did mine. You know,
Yeah.
it's only one per person.
Yeah, and he seems fine. So that's the first time that we see that there is. It is all self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the best ways to utilize a monkey paw trope
Mm-hmm.
in any depiction that we've seen in a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, and I guess like he sees him covered in blood and he knows that the One Wish Willow is somehow involved and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, it's like he's not fazed by it.
Yeah. So I think it's like in universe, like kind of getting over the whole what's next, you know?
Yeah.
So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a weird supernatural element to it.
Yeah.
But what I do appreciate is that it's not a demonic entity. It is literally just like an entity of the One Wish Willow.
Yeah.
Like your own greed, your own emotion, your own human failure is all what wraps into your wish. And then this entity, took over
It's
Nikki's
like
body.
creates it or something.
Yeah.
There's so many like fan theories, and some of them I've seen and heard, and like when it starts, I'm like, oh, this is crazy, and then they keep going and explaining, and I'm like, well, shit,
Yeah.
you might be onto something there.
Yeah. I think I've got a couple of scenes that we'll talk about some of that.
Okay.
So my first scene that I really, really enjoyed, the potted plant.
Oh God, that
The
whole
use-
bedroom scene.
Yeah, the
oh my
use
God.
of mundane, like day to day, and bringing a horror element to it.
And it made no sense,
But I think that's the
but it
best
was
part.
so effective. Yeah.
Yeah. That scene number one really lays out just strange storytelling in a very effective way.
Yeah.
Inanimate object use, and then we really are starting to see Nikki move.
Mhm.
Like when she takes a break, she gets the light for just a second when on their first sexual escapade, he like starts freaking the fuck out because just starts screaming.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, what's happening here? And then she's like, oh no, baby, everything's fine. And you're okay.
And then a normal person would be like, no, I'm gonna go sleep in the other room. Like, you need space. Or like, hey, you need help. But just that selfishness. He's like, no, she said it was okay. She said she was fine. She said she wanted me to stay in here. I'm doing it for her.
Yep.
But no, that whole scene, that was like the very first, like, I guess instance we get that we're like, oh, this girl can do horror.
Yeah.
This girl can do fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that was, cinematography too, because she was over in that corner and like you just don't see her. And then she's there the whole time but you don't see her. But yeah, her body movements, like when she kind of scuttled out of the corner, she took a step and then he goes like turn the light on or something and she like scurries back in the corner. Just everything in that scene. But yeah, the potted plant thing, like her like walking sideways, like I was like, oh God, I don't like that at all.
Yeah. There's more movement. There's so many scenes where we can just say that Nikki stole the show.
Yeah.
My next scene that I want to talk about is when Bear leaves and leaves Nikki behind. So like we've already got past the duct tape on the door, which it was incredible. It was so funny because he's just like, yeah, I have to go to work. And then we pan over and it is just a smattering of duct tape to try to keep him locked in. And you're like, when did she have the time to do that? And I was like, oh, it was while he was asleep.
Yeah. And the fact that he's like, no, it's okay. And she's like, oh, is the door broken? Maybe you should just stay home. And he's like, no, it's okay. I got it. And he just deals with it. Like,
yeah. Number one, anybody that has that level of attachment, like there's got to be a disconnect. But if you are such a fucking loser that you're like, oh no, I can make this work.
It's the like overlooking the flaws, just like turning a blind eye, and they just keep escalating. Mm-hmm. No, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if he was that touch starved,
that down bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. But the scene that to continue this point, when he returns and Nikki, like we see that while she's there, she's pissed herself, right?
Yeah.
And then she's got throw up all over and she's just a mess and she's just sitting there
her when he left and she's just sitting there smiling and it's like it is an unsettling smile and she's just not moving. Like there is no movement.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, and then she just stands there and she's like door shuts, she still doesn't move, she's still smiling. And then she just starts pissing herself, and you're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. So Nikki basically has to be, like, "Oh shit, something's wrong. You're hurt." She goes to shower, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go over to Ian's," and which eventually leads us into the party scene. So, like, logistically, how do you take your girlfriend from an absolute mess over to Ian's house? And like, number two, if something's really wrong and she's sick, like, the first thing you're gonna do is cancel on Ian.
Yeah, first off, you come home and you like she's obviously not moved all day. But the funny part was that earlier in that scene, like he wakes up and he's like looking in the mirror, and then he goes in there and he's like, "Did you cut my hair in the night?" And she's like, "Yeah." Just
yeah, Nikki, don't do that.
And then
is that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Please quit doing weird shit." But and it's just he knows that it's not her, and then he was like, "Well, I can make this work because at least if I have Nikki." And so he's like, "I'm just gonna make sure this version of Nikki or whatever it is." He's like, "I'll just train it, you know. I'll just make sure I'll make it work for me."
Yeah, he sucks.
And then I saw somebody say that it was like every time, you know, in the very beginning, the entity was or whatever, you know, was really trying hard to act like Nikki. And then it just keeps declining because it was like after everything that he overlooked or didn't react to, just like accepted, it was like it didn't have to work as hard to act like Nikki because he still accepted it as it was.
Yeah.
And so that's why it just kept spiraling. So
yeah, how much are you willing to ride this out?
Yep.
Yeah. My next scene is probably one of the most disturbing in the movie. And it is not even set while Nikki's there.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So she makes him a delicious sandwich.
Oh God. And I knew when she was like, "I made you lunch," I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be fun." Oh, I can't, you know.
I had no idea, and so
I just had a feeling
again. So like the potted plant got me. I have never been more fucking scared of a Post-it note. You know, like, "Oh, here's my little food critic."
Yeah.
And then he's just sitting there eating, and he's like, you can tell it doesn't taste good. Well,
he doesn't really react. Sarah's the one that said, "Your food smells bad. Like, it smells so weird." And that's when he was like, "Oh." So I guess it was a good, almost like metaphor for him just overlooking issues until people are like pointing out like, "Hey,
you're eating your dead fucking cat, dude." Like, that was great. Because I had, again, like in the moment, I was just like, okay, she's definitely fucked up with food, but he's already told her once that to leave Sandy alone.
Yeah.
Also, put your prescription drugs up. Don't kill that cat.
Yeah,
that's on you, Bear, for being a fucking idiot.
That was one of my questions. I'll ask that in a minute. But and I mean, you also think there was the two Polaroids. First, the one like him just like sleeping.
Yeah.
And then her like, but then it says "not me." So, I mean, he's also distracted by that while he's like eating. So you're like, oh, that was the spooky in the lunch or whatever. And then, she's like, "Oh, that food smells bad." And then he flips to another post-it or flips it over. And it's like, what's the verdict? Cat? ?
Yeah.
Oh God. So I knew, like I said, I knew something was going to be wrong with the lunch, or it was just going to be like full of like, I mean, it was just going to open it up and it was just going to be nasty because like she doesn't know what she's doing. Like she doesn't know how to be human. And so then he opens it and it's like, I mean, it looks like a fine sandwich. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, it's going to be the cat. I had a feeling. I don't know how
your autistic brain is able to put that shit together.
I don't know. I was like, what would be the nastiest thing? And I was like, the cat.
Also, just another fun little thing. If while they were describing what this scene was, but while they were doing the readout, if it didn't say the Sandy Witch scene, I'll fucking riot.
The Sandy Witch scene.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If this ever came to HHN, like, and they didn't have a Sandy Witch as a menu item.
Yeah, I also for my next one I did touch on the car scene. Okay. I think you covered it.
Yeah.
Everything that could be said, the brutality, the ambiance, the way it was shot, fucking freaked me out.
First off, Bear thinking he was being like slick. Well, really, she woke up, but it was real Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
And then him just leaving. I was like, you think that fake Nikki is just going to let that slide?
Yeah, brother. She just fed you your cat and she refuses to let you go. And she stabbed herself in the face just a few hours ago.
Yeah. Well, and then like her, when they were playing Jenga and like it was supposed to be he kissed the person to his left and it was supposed to be Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And she just goes over there and just moves her and then just plops down. She's like, I'm to your left now. Like, I'm sorry, Bear, that another instance of being so fucking selfish because what did you think that was going to do to Sarah? Like, first off, Nikki's going to know. She's going to follow you. She's going to find out. She's going to read your text. She's going to do something.
Yeah.
She's going to find out you are putting Sarah in danger because she may not directly hurt you, but she would definitely fuck up Sarah.
Like we talked about earlier, where it's your friends and family that are oftentimes like the first casualty of like a destructive relationship, right? So I thought that was really cool. I think the only other scene that I really want to touch on, because there's so many great scenes, and I think we could be here for another hour or so. The ending where all of it is tied together. So they use Chekhov's gun, literally.
Yeah.
Like he sets up that there is a gun in the music store, in the safe, so early on. Then like Nikki just has a gun. Ian comes walking in after he's got his $1 billion and he's like, hey, you got, and without missing a beat, as soon as he walks in through the door, he just gets fucking blasted in the head by Nikki. Like the Lone Ranger just.
Yeah. And it was just like, it showed it and then it went away. Like it was just like, shut up.
Yeah. We've got too much shit that we're worried about.
I will maintain my opinion. That was real Nikki. That shot Ian. He was a douche.
I think maybe they came together.
Yeah. Like fake Nikki was like, yeah, no, we agree on this one. But yeah, that mindless brutality of just like, you're interfering, bap, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't have time for you. Like you're a nuisance.
You're coming between me and Bear.
Yeah.
You know?
And so also with that scene, we get to see Sarah's body.
Oh my God.
And Nikki has started to like cover herself. I guess in the moment, I didn't realize that she had like scalped Sarah and like put the hair on her own head.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that either.
And I was like, damn it, I need to rewatch. I need to watch it all over again.
Yeah. It's just like she is doing whatever to make Bear love her, as you know, and that whole scene where she's like crying, she's like, I just feel like you don't love me as much as I love you. And that was one of those times when the voice like changed,
the warble.
Oh God. And she's just literally, she's doing whatever. And he's like, well, if he wants Sarah, then I'll be Sarah, you know?
And then you caught in that scene, because we get the ending. He has finally done the right thing by killing himself. But as he takes the gun and he's going to blow his brains out in the bathroom. And then he chickens out and he's like, okay, he's going to follow Sandy. He's going to just take a bunch of pills.
Yep.
And then he goes to throw up and then the snap.
You hear it.
Yeah. So Nikki uses the One Wish Willow to wish that he is just obsessed with her. So I think that's really cool that the entity that like the monkey's paw is using a monkey's paw. And you're like, oh, that's fucking rad. Like, how is that going to work? And so he just kind of forgets. And what's really funny is one of our buddies that went and did a rewatch. So he was saying that it's very reminiscent of The Thing.
Okay.
Where there is like a shine in the eye and then there's not.
Like a glimmer.
That's when you know that the other person is taking over. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking cool. I want to go rewatch it just to see those scenes.
And his like change, I mean, that was a great little bit of acting right there.
Yeah.
Because he goes from just being like finally accepting that what he has to do, and then he's done it, but then he immediately regrets it and he's gonna
he goes to like throw up and just gets up
and then
falls, dies on the couch, and then right as Nikki is fixing to kill herself, she snaps back. Which was the best ending that they could have done. I'm so glad that she didn't wind up killing herself in that. I'm so excited. And then
and I guess that's probably what it was gonna be, is she was just gonna kill herself before the like snap happened.
Yeah.
And so the like she was about to, or just that little bit of pause, so that Bear was dead, and it reversed the wish where it was real Nikki like fully in control back. But yeah, you were gonna say at the end.
Yeah, so you were telling me that the TV screen, right? So go ahead and take that.
So the TV, it was kind of staticky, but it was like a black and white, and it was just kind of looked like just crappy kind of home movie. But it starts panning, and then it's Bear. It's Bear sleeping. That's what is playing, is a video of Bear sleeping, which we already knew. She was like, first off, she's watching him from the corner.
She's taking
and
pictures
then she's taking Polaroids, but she was also just like videoing him sleeping. So yeah, just that whole end scene, just like, that's what I was saying, that climax there at the end. And it's climaxing where you think that Bear he's just gonna kill himself. The wish will be nullified. Nikki will be back. But all this other stuff has gone on. But then that twist where she snaps it, but it was just before. Had he thrown up 2 seconds earlier, then he would have lived, and they would have both been crazy together.
Yeah, he could not escape his own cowardice.
Yeah. And so it's so like, it's kind of a mind fuck, because it's like, because fake Nikki snapped the willow when she did, it ended up saving
real Nikki.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. The ending was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't have any other scenes that I want to get that deep into.
Yeah.
But the effects. We do have a couple on the list. Let me look at yours.
Maybe a couple of crossover.
Yeah. So your number 1 and my number 3.
Okay.
I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
So this is in that bedroom nighttime scene. He wakes up. Nikki's not in the bed. First off, it's terrifying. It's like, where the fuck is she? And he's like looking around the room, and he doesn't see her, and we don't see her. But she's like in plain sight, just standing in the corner, but you don't really notice it until like she speaks, and then she kind of steps out a little bit. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's dark and the shadows are playing with you, but they did kind of an uncanny valley like makeup on her. So it's not super noticeable because it's dark, but it's just good enough that it added so much to that scene, because that's really when we're like, something really is fucked up. And I think that was one of the points that Bear was like, yeah, this is a little bit more than, what I was bargaining for.
Agreed.
So yeah, that uncanny valley kind of makeup that they did on her for that scene was really good.
Okay. The point that I'm going to talk about is when she fully breaks down and starts walking backwards, and the vocals are reversed. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That freaked me completely out.
Yeah, and that was one thing before we went and watched it that I saw a lot of people talking about, was like when she backwards walked, but I didn't know what it was about, and then when it happened, it was like, oh.
Nope, I went blind.
It was just it was like a sort of jump scare, because you're just like, oh, I don't like that. So I saw somebody say that was fake Nikki because they were having like a fight.
Yeah.
And that was fake Nikki trying to restart the conversation.
That would be interesting.
Because, you kind of think she was doing this like backwards walk, and then her voice, it kind of sounded like rewind.
Well, so I want to know, because she also like does the flinch thing like towards him, and then like the voice doesn't match.
So like real Nikki was there for just a split, Yeah.
Ugh.
That's going to be one of those rewatch things, like watching closely if we can see if there's a flicker of real Nikki, just barely. So, yeah.
What's your next one, my love?
like I've already made this point, but just throughout it, the voice changing and it being like layered almost, or it would almost get a little warbly. It was so good and so unsettling because it wasn't like so super noticeable, but it was just enough where you're like, you know, oh, that's not right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So in those scenes, like it happened once in that bedroom scene when she's like over in the corner. And then that where she's saying, I just feel like you don't love me as much as I love you. It got this like almost like deeper, like, but it sounded like layered,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just, oh yeah, the voice changing just enough to, it's just not right. I mean, really,
Perfect 5 audio.
it was like uncanny valley because
Yeah.
you're like, it's just enough to be like, that's not right. So
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
It felt very, I don't know. We talk about this all the time
mhm.
in the demon bear from
Oh yeah, from Annihilation.
Annihilation, yeah.
Mhm.
So anytime you can pull that off, it rules.
Yeah.
My next effect is going to be, like we talked about it already a little bit, where Nikki would poke through and how
Mhm.
jarring that would be. So I think that was such a really effective use of the push-pull.
Yeah.
And it's not an all-powerful wish, like the fact that Nikki's still trying to struggle.
Mhm.
But I think the best use of it was in this scene. So we're going to backtrack just a little bit. The scene in the car where he calls the like number for the One Wish Willow,
The customer service.
yeah, the customer service. Which, fun fact, is Curry Barker on the other end. So
Yep.
I thought that was really cool. And at the end of it, you know, he's very nonchalant, like, "Oh, she's here with me."
Yeah,
and
you
it's
wanna talk to
Nikki,
her?
yeah, and it's just Nikki fucking screaming.
Yeah.
Which,
And then he just hangs up.
yeah, it's so abrupt, and there's so many layers to it, and then you just are. It's one thing after another that's popping off, so you don't even really have time to process it in that moment.
Mhm.
It's just chaos.
And that is just, that scene though was another instance of just showing his selfishness because they're like, well, do you want to rescind the wish? And he was like, no.
I just want to modify.
I just want to alter it.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, well, you can't do that. And it's like he hesitates. And then finally he's like, okay, I want to rescind it. And then they're like, oh, we don't do that. But I mean, just the hesitation because he's so selfish.
Yeah. Let's see. You and I both talked about Sarah's corpse at the end.
Just, I mentioned that in that car scene, it was good gore. And then when she's like, so they went through all the trouble because she was like, you know, when I said she was gaslighting her and she was like, this is your fault. So you're going to have to help me hide the body, you know?
Mhm.
So they went through all of this, like getting rid of the body and like hiding it in like a tuba case or whatever it was at the music store. I mean, going through all of this for her to just take it back to the apartment or to the house
Yeah.
and have it just set up and in the chair because you're not expecting that at all.
No. I never thought we would see Sarah again.
Yeah, and then at one point, I don't know, I can't remember if it was when she was still in the car or if she's like at the house and they like zoom in and I mean it's just
She's
the
naked.
mangled
Yeah.
face, an eyeball. I mean,
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
good. Ugh. Yeah. The gore effects were phenomenal
mhm.
for the gore lover in this household. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Okay. The final effect that I would like to talk about. Well, I actually have 2. So the next effect that I would like to talk about is the effective use of hair as a mask.
Okay.
It reminded me so much of early 2000s, like The Ring.
Yeah.
I think it was just as effective as a mask to kind of give you not necessarily the uncanny valleyness
Mhm.
of it, but there's like a primal fear of something you can't see the face
Yeah.
of, right? And so when she's running, the hair's in her face, when she is sitting in the corner, hair's in the
Yeah.
face, whether that be a costuming decision or a character design or however many people were involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Pulling off an effect so simple that, oh, your hair's just in your face. Oh, fuck.
But then what's so funny is that like as a girl, like we get to the point in the day where it's like if you have bangs, like, okay, I'm done with my bangs today. I'm done with my hair touching my face. And like so something like that, you're like, yeah, no, that's not a real person because
Yeah.
nobody would be able to just deal with having their hair in their face like that.
Yeah, that was terrifying. And so it was very like it did take me back to when I was very young, too young to watch The Ring. By myself. I remember playing hooky from school and just like sitting and I'm like, I'm gonna watch The Ring. Like, nobody can stop me. It scared the shit out of me. I was terrified. That little girl comes crawling out of the TV. I was like,
and just
oh,
like
no.
a peek of an eye through the hair. Yeah.
So that again, like it made me feel like a little horror fan all over again. The final thing I want to talk about, which I did mention already, Chekhov's guns. I love it. I talked about it in Hokum. The Chekhov's gun is a gun in this 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, and I think there was multiple, like just little things, like I said, the lunchbox. She was like, "I made you lunch." Psh, nothing. And then, it was actually something.
Yeah.
And that's like her cutting his hair. I want to go back and see where did she use it? Where did she use, like, if she was like wearing Sarah's hair, did she like tie his hair into hers somewhere? Like, what did she do with his hair?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things like you don't really care about it in the moment, but
I know, but I just want to see like just those little things. Like we know that they were very intentional with like pretty much everything in the movie, so I would want to see like what some of those little things if they did play a part. So
final thing, this is not a favorite effect or a scene. It's just a fun little fact.
Okay.
So the MC for like the trivia night
at the bar.
Yeah. So that's actually like his dad.
Oh,
that is
that's funny.
Curry Barker's dad, Jeff Barker.
Yeah.
And it is.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I didn't know. I think I've probably seen maybe clips of some of their shorts or something. I don't think I've watched any of them before.
Oh, him and Cooper's?
Yeah, and
Curry
so that's what I was
Cooper's?
going to say is like Cooper, which is Ian, him and Curry, it's their like YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it called? This is a Bad Idea.
Yep.
So it's their YouTube channel. So Cooper's acting in the movie. He also has a producer credit, which makes total sense. And then like Curry is the voice of the hotline guy. Yeah. So I love that, it was for being their first. It's kind of like what like an Iron Lung, like Markiplier putting some like friends in there. But
yeah, I like it because he Shyamalan'd in the best way possible.
Yeah.
He put himself in his movie. He didn't give himself a stupid role. It was just a very like, hey, this is going to be a plot point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to have to act. It is just me.
I'm not going to have to pay anyone to be this voice.
Exactly. So I thought that was really cool. And also just like hooking your boy up, like you two, you've done comedy stuff together, and then you get to be part of this like feature length.
Hey,
film.
Dad, come be in my movie, so I don't have to pay someone.
Yeah, and the dad as well. But I was talking about Cooper, like getting like one of the main roles.
Yeah,
so I was
exactly.
Like, I like that.
And I think he did very well. Which, if you go look at IMDb, like Cooper has other actual like acting credits, so he does want to do like the producer thing, which he's been doing on the, and then. Again, I haven't seen any of their shorts, or I'm sure I have, but not like gone and watched their whole like playlist in YouTube. But I'm assuming they probably both kind of star in most of the shorts. So, but
you definitely need to do it next time you're like at lunch break or something.
Yeah,
they're really funny. Okay, that's it for scenes. Are you ready to dive into your feels?
I know I've already talked about this. Because just unsettled, and I feel like I've said that about most of the movies this year, but it's so effective instead of just being like grossed out. Because when it's something like when you're unsettled, creeped out, like I feel like it sticks with you longer. Because like you'll think about it again and you're like, ooh, I get the shivers,
Yeah.
But and then the fact that I could be creeped out and have secondhand embarrassment in the same, watching the same scene, like those are just two things you just don't really expect to like, emotions to be evoked at the same time.
Yeah.
But it definitely did. And then other than that, it's just like this really made me want a sequel, which a lot of the times, the thing with horror movies, I'm like, I don't want any more of this. Like it was bad. No, thank you. And then, or a sequel comes out and you're like, why? So a sequel, even if it's not, which I mean, can't really do anything with this cast because they're all dead.
Yeah.
But another like iteration of the One Wish Willow or something, I want more. I want a little more backstory about it. So, leaving me wanting more and more of Curry Barker horror.
Yep.
I want more of that.
Yep. So that is pretty identical to what I said.
Okay.
So the movie made me very unsettled.
Mm-hmm.
It was not the like I'm terrified. It is just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In the fact that you were able to like roll that into this perfect horror sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Not to, it was so good.
There was also a horror sandwich in it.
There also was a horror sandwich in it. Worst Sandwich of the Year award is definitely going to this movie. The next thing is, again, excited for more Curry Barker.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel that the menacing words on a Post-it note, I don't want you to leave Post-it notes around the house. No, stop it. I don't need you being like, oh, my little connoisseur, my little food critic. Like, I don't need that.
Just making you question things.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think about this?
Look,
what are you talking about?
I don't need you to hit me like that. Okay. It also made me feel that this is one of the best portrayals of monkey paw in horror movie history. The way it was a concise story, we didn't go all over the place. Fuck it was just so good.
Well, we get so much of like the cursed object trope, but it seeming so innocuous and, it's just like gimmicky. It's something you find at a thrift store or something.
Yeah. Coming off of Whistle to do this movie is such a, it is such a wild ride.
Yeah. And you like open the box and there's like a little jingle and everything.
Yeah.
And
you're like, oh, Aztec Death Whistle. That sounds terrifying. And then you got this goofy jingle and a snap and then it's way worse, So that's where I was at. And now, you have anything else?
I think on how it made me feel, that's probably it.
Okay. My favorite time. Questions.
Okay.
When does Anything But Ghosts come out? I need...
Yes.
Give me teasers. Give me whatever. Curry Barker, please, for the love of God, keep making movies.
The fact that it's already filmed, like already wrapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's got kind of a stacked cast.
Yeah.
I mean, going from this movie where it was kind of employing some friends and lesser known names, and it hadn't even come out yet, and he's already wrapped filming on this other movie that's got it's got like Bryce Dallas Howard and I think Jesse
Pinkman.
Yeah. Like big names in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so excited for that one. And it's gonna be that like kind of comedy, but horror, but not really like a horror comedy, I guess. So I like that.
I like it as well. My next is, did Sandy play any part in the possessing of the entity? Like there were some very cat-like things, like,
That was one of those theories that I heard, and at first I was like, that's insane. That's ridiculous. This is stupid. And then as it kept going, I was like, shit, they may have something here. Because they were like, what does a cat do when you leave them at home and they're going to get back at you, piss on the floor and throw up everywhere?
Yeah.
And then when he was like, I just got to go to the bathroom. And she's like, can I sit outside of the door and wait on you?
Yeah. Well, and like the other thing too is, so the little like oddity store was Tabby Cat curiosities, and it was
Well, the One Wish Willow.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole store was.
well
Just the company on the
Oh,
One
that's
Wish
right.
Willow
Yeah.
was Tabby Cat Industries or something. And so that was like the theory, was that it was like the spirit of Sandy is what was like possessing Nikki.
Yeah.
And because Sandy died before all that happened, anything with the One Wish Willow. And then when they kept giving examples of like the cat like behavior and everything and just being upset, and then the way that he worded the wish, it being, I want her to love me more than anyone else or anyone in the world. And they were like, there's not a lot of people in the world that love Bear because he's like doesn't really have any family. He's just got his friends. So who's going to love him the most? That cat. So
R.I.P. Sandy.
Yeah.
Too soon. All right. Those are all my questions. What are your questions?
So, I mean, it was kind of the same. Like, what was this entity? Was it, are these like specific entities that it's just with the One Wish Willow thing? Or is it tied to like, is it kind of demonic possession?
No.
Or when it snapped, it creates this entity?
Okay. So that's kind of one of the things that they've been talking about a lot in these interviews, because it is hard to kind of differentiate. Like anytime that somebody's not in control of their body and is basically a slave to another entity, everybody's like, oh, it's demonic possession. I think there were multiple instances where Curry has spoken out and said like, no, it's not really like a demonic possession. It's an entity that's created like from the One Wish Willow.
Which, I mean, makes sense, because in the beginning, when it was like, it was stumbling over words a lot, like it couldn't figure it out. And it was like, it's like, first day here, trying to figure out, so that was my one question. My other question, how'd the cat open a bottle of pills?
Just gnawed on it.
It was literally popped open. So either, I don't know, but it's like, Bear, did you just leave your pills open? Because it said do not eat. And I don't even think they were his. It didn't have his name on it. I think it was a grandma's, because it was the grandma's house that like he inherited.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he still had like grandma's pills, and so first off, are you just leaving them around open? And if so, that is also a foreshadowing of him not taking accountability for his own actions, because he straight up said, "How did you get into these? No, Sandy, how did you get into these?" Like, that's my question. How the fuck did the cat get into a bottle of pills?
Just not on it. I wouldn't worry about it. Let's
and
not
then,
get nitpicky.
And then there was like some cans of cat food just laying on the floor that were like popped open. And I'm like, okay, was it digging through the trash? But it didn't look like there was really any other trash around.
No.
I think
Bear was just kind of gross.
How'd the cat open the cans of cat food?
Yeah.
So there's my question. First, how'd the cat get into the pills to start this all off?
Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. It is now time for details, gripes, or kudos.
I mean, just kudos to the whole freaking movie. Yep. It was so good. And it was a good mix. It did give you that psychological kind of thriller, but it also gave you some gore. It was just a good mix. And they, interwove a lot of different things really well, really seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And so just kudos all around. And I guess really my only gripe would be that, because I was sitting in the theater, I was like, how the fuck did the cat get into the pill bottle? And then the cat food cans that are opened.
Yeah.
Because, we know about, a pet getting into food and gorging, but that's a bag that a big dog ripped open.
Yeah.
But a cat getting into a tin of food and a pill bottle.
He's a very talented cat. Maybe he taught it tricks and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else?
Yeah. Those were all really sitting through that movie. Those were the only thing I was like, really?
Okay.
So,
I had debut movie director,
mm-hmm.
full feature length film, Curry Barker. I don't know how you did it. But
yeah.
kudos to you, man. Like that fucking rules.
I mean, look, that's what our third this year for a debut, directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
That's just knocked it out of the park. We had Iron Lung, we had Undertone,
Yeah.
and now Obsession.
Yeah, and if Backrooms tracks,
Yeah,
it could
is that also a
Mm-hmm.
wow?
Yeah,
So
he's done some liminal space stuff on
YouTube.
like YouTube, but
Yeah.
now that is
Yeah.
getting its. We'll get into
Yeah.
more research on that later.
yeah, but I love that we're getting these new names, and just because it gives like fresh takes into the horror genre. So
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we have the discussion as well. I think Indy could be the next big screen queen.
Yep.
I think Mia Goth kind of led the way for this
Mhm.
new age.
And Jenna Ortega.
And Jenna Ortega, yeah.
Mhm.
But I think like the one that stands out to me is Mia Goth in
Yeah.
the whole like Pearl
Yeah.
series. And so now like I really am hoping that Indy's going to stick around in this
Yeah.
space. I think she's very talented. I think she could go to do a bunch of other roles and
Mhm.
diversify. But if she stays in horror, I think she will be a like knockout.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where
Agreed.
I'm at. And then the budget of like $750,000 and that you are competing and crushing
Yeah.
everything around you is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they pulled your stream date so you could get a full theatrical release,
Mhm.
that's incredible.
Which, I mean, is also them saying like, hey, let's keep riding this money train
Well,
and
yeah.
not put it out on streaming. Let's make a little more money. But
Listen, if I can give this guy more money so he'll make more good
Yeah.
shit, I'm 100%.
Yeah.
in. Get your money. Alrighty. I think that'll do it for that. I
Okay.
think the last thing we've got, closing remarks. And who is this movie for?
I mean, I think any all horror fan should go watch this. It had a little bit of everything, like I said.
Mhm.
It was another good, just kind of new take on, cursed object, kind of possession,
Mhm.
but it didn't feel like a reused storyline. It felt new. So I think if you like horror, you need to go watch this one. And it's so hyped right now. Like, go watch it in theaters
Mhm.
and go get that experience. So
Okay. I think it's for anyone who wants to watch an up and coming master
Mhm.
at work. I think you can. I'll swear by it. This is video proof. I think that Curry Barker is going to be one of those household name directors that you will be talking about
Yeah.
for a very long time.
yeah.
And I think that the more success that he has, the more it shows that comedy guys can do horror better
Mhm.
than most people who've done horror.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Make more stuff, continue, get your bag. Just, I can't wait for the next one. I
Yeah.
can't wait for Texas Chainsaw, Anything But Ghosts, and whatever projects he's going to put out. That is going to be a hill that I die on. I will
Yeah.
watch and consume every piece of media that he puts
Mhm.
out.
Well, it's just like sometimes you'll see, I mean, for me at least, if I see one of my favorite actors build for a movie,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch that movie just because they're in it.
Yeah.
So this will be one of those, oh, Curry Barker's directing it, we're going to watch it.
100%. Alrighty. Well, that's our take on Obsession. We'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Any cool fan theories or any fun facts? And I think we'll start opening up polls to figure out other older movies if anybody wants to see that.
Yeah.
If you got movie suggestions, throw them down below.
Yep. All right. Like, subscribe, and share for more horrifying content. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay
Stay spooky.
spooky.